For most of human history, cats were almost invisible. Not invisible in the literal sense, invisible because they stayed quiet. Long before cats slept on couches, knocked objects off tables, or became internet celebrities viewed billions of times online, they lived alone across deserts and grasslands in the Middle East and North Africa. They were hunters, small, silent, patient. Unlike wolves, cats did not survive through teamwork. They didn't hunt in packs. They didn't defend each other. They didn't build loyal social groups. A wildcat survived entirely on its own. And for thousands of years, humans mostly ignored them, because compared to the giant dangers of the ancient world, wildcats didn't seem important. Humans feared wolves, they feared bears, they feared giant predators hiding beyond the firelight at night. Nobody looked at a small striped cat and imagined it would eventually spread into homes across almost the entire planet. But then humans accidentally created the perfect world for cats. Around 12,000 years ago, humanity began changing forever. For most of human history, people lived as hunter-gatherers. Small groups constantly moved across enormous landscapes searching for food. Then slowly, in different parts of the world, humans began learning something revolutionary: farming. Instead of wandering endlessly across huge landscapes searching for food, people started settling down in permanent villages and growing crops nearby. That one discovery changed human civilization forever. And for the first time in history, humans began storing massive amounts of food in one location: grain. Huge piles of grain. Enough to survive winters. Enough to feed entire communities. And unfortunately for humans, grain attracted something else: mice. Then rats. Entire rodent populations exploded around early farming villages. Imagine ancient settlements after sunset. Storage rooms packed with grain. Tiny scratching sounds inside walls. Food supplies slowly disappearing night after night. To modern humans, rodents are annoying. To ancient humans, they were dangerous. A bad infestation could destroy food reserves that entire families depended on to survive. And somewhere nearby, wildcats noticed something incredible. Humans had somehow gathered thousands of prey animals into one tiny area. For a small predator, early farming villages were paradise. A wildcat no longer needed to roam endlessly hunting scattered rodents across deserts and grasslands. Now food came directly to human settlements. To a cat, the first villages were basically giant mouse factories, and so the boldest wildcats crept closer. At first, probably very cautiously, watching from darkness, moving silently between buildings, hunting near grain stores after sunset, and eventually humans noticed something too. The little predators lurking around their villages were solving a massive problem. The cats were killing rodents, a lot of rodents. So unlike wolves, which humans later partnered with for hunting and protection, cats entered human society through something much simpler: mutual convenience. Humans tolerated cats because they protected food supplies. Cats tolerated humans because humans accidentally created endless hunting grounds. And slowly, over thousands of years, both species adapted to each other. The wildcats most comfortable living near humans gained access to enormous amounts of food. The extremely fearful cats stayed away and struggled more. Generation after generation, evolution quietly favored cats that could remain calm around humans. But here's where cats become very different from dogs. Dogs changed dramatically during domestication. Their bodies changed. Their personalities changed. Their behavior transformed. Cats barely changed at all. Modern house cats are still genetically extremely similar to ancient wildcats. Far more similar than dogs are to wolves. In fact, the African wildcat that scientists believe gave rise to modern domestic cats still looks shockingly familiar. If you saw one walking through your neighborhood today, you would probably just assume it was somebody's tabby cat. In many ways, your house cat is still a tiny wild predator living inside your home. Think about how they behave. They stalk moving objects. They ambush feet under blankets. They stare silently at birds for hours. They push objects off tables while maintaining full eye contact with humans. They suddenly sprint through hallways at impossible speeds for absolutely no visible reason. Those instincts are ancient. Even their play is actually hunting practice. A cat chasing a toy is practicing the same behaviors its ancestors used thousands of years ago in the wild. And unlike dogs, cats never fully evolved to obey humans. Dogs evolved to cooperate with people. They read human emotions incredibly well. They seek approval. They follow commands. Cats took a completely different path. They simply learned that human civilization was a very comfortable place to slip into, and they just did. This is why many scientists believe cats basically domesticated themselves. Humans did not carefully shape cats the same way they shaped dogs. Cats moved into human settlements because it benefited them, and humans allowed it because it benefited humans too. The relationship worked so well that cats slowly spread alongside civilization itself. As agriculture expanded across the ancient world, cats followed. They moved along trade routes, villages, farms. Then humans accidentally created another perfect environment for cats: ships. Ancient ships carrying grain and food were constantly infested with rats. Rats destroyed supplies, they spread disease, they damaged cargo. So sailors started bringing cats aboard ships to control rodent populations. And suddenly cats had an all-paid ticket to travel across oceans, tiny predators crossing entire continents alongside human civilization. Cats spread into Europe, into Asia, into Africa. Everywhere humans carried food, rodents followed. And everywhere rodents followed, cats became useful. But eventually, cats became more than useful. In some civilizations, they became deeply admired. Nowhere was this more obvious than ancient Egypt. Egyptians respected cats so much that harming one could bring severe punishment. Some historians believe families mourned dead cats almost like relatives. Cats became connected to Bastet, the Egyptian goddess associated with protection, fertility, and the home. Statues of cats appeared across temples and households. And when archaeologists uncovered ancient burial sites in Egypt, they found something astonishing: millions of mummified cats. Think about how extraordinary that transformation is. An animal once hiding silently in deserts had become spiritually important to one of the most powerful civilizations on Earth. And yet even then, cats still carried themselves like they owned the place. That mystery may actually be why humans became so attached to them. Dogs feel understandable. Cats feel ancient. Even now, people describe cats as mysterious, emotionally unreadable, or strangely intelligent, because unlike dogs, cats still behave like creatures that are only partially integrated into human society. Part of them still belongs somewhere else. And traces of those ancient instincts appear constantly. When cats need blankets, they may be repeating motions kittens use while nursing. When they rub against your legs, they are marking you with scent glands. When they bring dead animals home, they may be sharing hunt since they think you suck at it. Which honestly says a lot more about what cats think of us. Scientists have even discovered that many cats develop different vocal behaviors specifically for humans. Adult cats rarely meow at each other in the wild, but around humans, they do it constantly. Over thousands of years, cats learned that certain sounds triggered human attention. Your cat may literally be manipulating your brain with carefully evolved noise engineering, and somehow their strategy worked unbelievably well. Today, there are roughly 600 million domestic cats living alongside humans across the planet. That makes cats one of the most successful predators on Earth. Not because they were the strongest, not because they hunted in packs, not because they obeyed humans. A small, solitary hunter from the desert quietly discovered that human civilization was the greatest survival strategy ever created. And now humans buy expensive toys, heated beds, automated litter boxes, and entire pieces of furniture specifically designed for animals that still occasionally ignore us for 9 straight hours before demanding food at maximum volume. And despite all of this, cats still retain an unusual level of independence compared to most domesticated animals. Many can survive entirely on their own if necessary. Some feral cats return to behaviors nearly identical to their wild ancestors within only a few generations, which means domestication for cats may still be incomplete even after thousands of years. That is incredibly unusual. Most domesticated animals became deeply dependent on humans. Cats simply became comfortable around us. That may be the strangest part of all. Dogs joined humans as partners. Cats joined humans as opportunists. But somewhere over thousands of years, opportunism slowly became companionship. And tonight, your cat, a descendant of ancient desert hunters, is going to fall asleep comfortably inside your home, fully convinced that it owns the entire place. And somehow, the cat distribution system continues running perfectly thousands of years later.